All right, Ben, week 3.
Oh, hey, what's up? Didn't see you there. Last week, we checked in. We were doing pretty good. We were up a few $100, maybe $400. But then this morning, the markets plummeted. So one major question we got to think about is this indicative of another larger plunge? Or do we get a relief rally here from about a $3,500 drop, which is pretty significant. But because of that, now we have to be thinking with our portfolio, what are we going to do? Because this presents an interesting opportunity where we have a lot of coins that are down dramatically today. However, we don't want to go into everything and use all of our stable coins because I think we're going to see more downside in the next few months. So this is really could be just the beginning of seeing a larger drop. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna tackle our portfolios. Right now we're down about $1,000 overall, and that's okay. If we had stayed in stables the entire time, we'd still have 25,000 and 10,000 and 1,000, but that's a little bit risky to just wait completely. So we're slowly moving into some different positions. So what we're gonna wanna do here, we have the ETH merge coming up. So we're gonna talk about the 1K portfolio first. We have the ETH merge coming up, should be in about a month. We wanna try to accumulate as much ETH as possible. We don't wanna start allocating this entire portfolio because it's just not that big. We bought sand last week and that hasn't worked out, but it's okay because that can be a long-term hold for that portfolio. Last week, between the 3 portfolios, we had looked at adding Optimism, OP, maybe a short-term move up, maybe a new all-time high for it soon. And then we Sandbox, it hadn't moved for about a week. And so it seemed like a good time to get in on it. Unfortunately, with the market plunging, neither one of those turned out to be good short-term moves. So with Optimism, we're gonna have to wait for it to get a bounce and move back up and maybe get out of that position at profit. We're certainly not gonna sell it at a loss. Now, if we thought that it was dropping and the entire crypto market was gonna rip, then we might do something different, but we don't believe that to be the case. So we have to start looking at what are we gonna do with our portfolios this week. The $1,000 portfolio, we just don't have a lot that we can really do in terms of adding new coins because you don't want to add $25 worth of some random coin in here. I mean, $25 just isn't going to be enough to get a lot of pop. So what I would rather see us do is start taking advantage of the dip we're having and basically start adding a little bit to our positions. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add $25 of ADA. ADA's down pretty considerably today, so that could be a good move. I think it's down about 11 or 12%. And then $25 in ETH. So we're just gonna start accumulating the things that we do have. We'll be waiting for a good opportunity to add XRP into the portfolio. But right now, we're just gonna put $50. We're gonna allocate. With the prices down as much as they are today, it makes sense to slowly move in. There's coming a day soon where we probably won't do anything to this portfolio, maybe even for weeks, because you just don't have the wiggle room you have with some of the other ones. So when you're looking at the 10K portfolio here, we added Optimism to it. It didn't work out great in the short term. And so kind of in the same spot with it, but we have a little more wiggle room because obviously we have $10,000 to work with. So for both the $10,000 portfolio and the 25K portfolio, what I thought about doing was trying to figure out a way to balance maybe accumulating some more of the coins that we like and maybe adding some new positions to the portfolio. So you just can't go wrong with ETH. You cannot go wrong with ETH. 4 years from now, people are going to look back at these prices, even if they go much lower, and be like, man, I wish I could have got Ethereum at that price. I wish I could have got it at 1,600. In the bull run, people wish they got it at 1,600 when it was up at 4 or 5K. So right now, I think we have a little bit less than half of an ETH in this portfolio. Let's go ahead this week with the prices down, and let's go ahead and add 1 ETH. And that doesn't mean we're going to buy 1 Ethereum. Let's say it like this. We're going to say get to 1 ETH, because right now we've got about 50%, a little less than 50%. So what we're going to do is we're going to add, I guess, about $900 with this portfolio. We're going to have 1 Ethereum in here. But with the 25K portfolio, we started off with 1 ETH. Let's just go ahead while prices are down and let's just grab 1 ETH total. And I think that's probably going to be the only move we're going to make this week in the 10K portfolio. This is what we want to do. We want to look at some targets. What are some numbers that you'd like to have? Would you like to have 10,000 Cardano? Would you like to have 5 Ethereum? Would you like to have 100 Bitcoin? And when you can really do it like that, you can start chipping away at goals. So obviously, we're going to want a full Ethereum in a $10,000 portfolio with as much upside as it's going to have. So that's the change we're going to be making to this portfolio this week. We're going to accumulate 1 ETH here. 25K portfolio, we got quite a little bit to play with here, but I don't want to go crazy. We've already got a pretty wide allocation of assets in this portfolio, as you guys can see on the screen here. So the question is, what do we want to do here? Well, if we're trying to get 1 ETH over here, and we've already got 1 ETH over here in the portfolio, let's start trying to ratchet this up to a higher number as well for ETH. So So we're gonna add 0.5 ETH, so it'd be about $800 a portfolio. And I also like the idea of maybe getting in something that's down massively today. For a 25K portfolio, as it builds up and things are moving ahead, I'd like to probably have, 3 or 4 ETH in this portfolio, and this one maybe 2 or 3. And this one, it would be great to have 1 entire ETH at some point in that portfolio. That might be what we do next week if the market's kind of boring. We might just come in here and start looking at what we want. What does our ideal portfolio numbers look like? And what you can do is with the projects that you don't believe in long term, or you're not 100% sold on, when they move up, you can take profits out of that, and then there you go, you can roll that into your actual accumulation targets. Because guys, look, when the bear market hits, we see what happens. These projects that were gigantic. Look at Axie Infinity, for instance. Such a huge coin, top 10, everybody loved it. Where'd that go? Not really doing well. So if you could have taken those Axie Infinity profits and rolled that into more ETH or more Bitcoin or Cardano or XRP or Sandbox or whatever you want, then you'd be in a much better position for the bear market. So you got to kind of be cutthroat and ruthless with some of these coins. I know the communities don't like it when you sell the coins, but they want you to hold to zero. I don't want you to do that. So one coin we're going to be adding today to this portfolio is Filecoin. Now, why am I adding Filecoin? Number one, I think storage coins are going to be absolutely huge in the next bull run. Metaverse requires them. There's not enough bandwidth on computers to deal with Metaverse right now building. So storage coins are going to be really big, and we're going to definitely want to have some exposure there. I don't want to go too big though, because we've already spent $800 here. So let's just put $350 into Filecoin. I don't know what the price is right now off the top of my head, so I don't know how much that's going to get us. But I think Filecoin's got a really big opportunity to be big. Now, is this a long-term hold for me? I don't know. I'll have to decide. I don't know yet. I don't know going into this. It's definitely a hold for me throughout the next bull run, but I do like the idea of diversifying coins. Now, what is so pivotal here? Why Filecoin, other than it's a storage coin, is down 18% today. So what I did is I started looking at the coins that are down the most on CoinMarketCap, and I started looking at ones that match what I'm looking at long-term or for the next bull cycle as far as trends go, combined with the power of something that dropped dramatically. So if it's 18% down here, I think it's a good time to get in. And look, we could be proven wrong. Maybe none of this is the best time. That's why we keep the majority. We have over 50% of all of these portfolios are in stablecoins still. So as we continue to make moves, our wiggle room gets smaller and smaller. At some point, we're just going to have to hold out and say, we're going to hold on to this as prices are dropping, and we're going to see how far they can go, and then maybe pile in the stablecoins down there. It's going to be real hard for me if the price of Bitcoin goes below $14,000. It's going to be real hard for me not to pile on into everything. Some people think it could go at $3,500. I don't think it's going to happen. I think $10,000 to $14,000 the range. If I can allocate 35-40% of these portfolios down at the very, very bottom, it'll be amazing how fast we'll get profitable again. So right now we are down a total of $1,000 across all three of these. So out of $36,000 total put in, we're at like $35,000 right now, down $1,000 overall. Each individual portfolio not down that much, $40 over here, a couple hundred, maybe 400 over here, something like that. So not too bad, but that's what we're going to do. Those are changes we're going to make this week. Let's see what happens. Maybe we get a pop this week. If we do get a big rise, a big market move, we might sell off some of this stuff for profit. So there you go. That's all I got. Be blessed.